Hello and welcome to Car Mechanic Simulator 2015 with me, Kim Sawyer. And you join me back in the workshop here. Again, nothing's happened off screen. I've just literally stopped recording, started recording again, guys. Hope you guys are all well and enjoying your days, whatever you're up to. Let's bring it, actually let's try it. Now we're going to need to bring it back up in the air, aren't we? And we're still working on the Maserati here. Alright, let's start putting other bit. Oh, they didn't make the repair process, that's a shame. So, we're going to have to buy a new one of them. We're going to need a new set of suspensions, so we might as well buy that all at the same time. So, if we go running gear, we need two of them. 1, 2. And we're going to need 2 of them. 1, 2, and 2 front springs. 1, 2. I think we need rear-wheel drive, so 2 of them as well. We need a new steering rack, I know that. And I forget. It's on the back, it's leaf springs on the back, so I think we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm hoping they're just regular ones and not small ones. And we need 2 of these. 1, 2, and 2 of those as well, and then that should give us a start off with something to start off with anyway. So shove those in, all brand spanking new, shiny, clean and brand new. We need some new brake discs as well. So we go to brakes. Like I say, as you can see, it says vented. Like I was saying in the previous episode about vented discs and pads. They're not so finite than the high performance ones, but you still get those problems. These being vented, not actually channeled. If you could imagine, a channel disc has, if you can imagine this brake surface here, has channels in it. So basically have little notches or cut out grooves just to add friction. Basically stuff like that needs to be at a certain temperature before it becomes really effective. Like I was saying beforehand. Otherwise, if it's too cold, it's not. It doesn't perform as well as it should do. Now, brake drums, like I was saying, if they get wet, that's another factor. If you go through a puddle and you're driving with brake drums, either all round or on the back, what a lot of people don't know, and that's why it's part of like when you take tests and stuff. They say you should dab the brakes after going through a puddle. Don't need to slam them on, you just need to dab them just to dry them back out again. The same goes for the discs. If there's water accumulated on the discs itself, you lose your braking performance essentially. So if you need to do an emergency stop for any reason, if you haven't dabbed your brakes and they haven't dried out for any reason, then that's where you can get your problems. The brake performance isn't there, so if you were to go to need to do a sudden emergency stop, your braking distance is increased by at least almost double than it would have been if you had dabbed your brakes. So that's the fundamental thing. Brake drums tend to take longer to dry as well. Still dabbing still does work. It will at least give you a fighting chance of braking, but they you know, the brake discs would be dry more or less straight away as soon as you dabbed it and let off. They're more or less dried up. But if you weren't to dab them, basically, you might be thinking, well, hang on a minute, well, putting your foot on the brake's going to heat them up quickly, isn't it? Yeah, it does heat them up, but then you get surface, you trap some water between the brake pads and same with the brake shoes. You trap water between the two components, so then it's trying to dry them out in a sense, and it doesn't, and it just slides off the water. And that's why dabbing is very important. What did we need here? We needed yeah, we need engine bits. No, I'm in here talking about brakes. Crankshaft bearing cap. I think we need two. We need two. I remember seeing two. Oh no, just one. Oh no, it was two. So that's why it's fundamentally important. Just dab your brakes. You don't need to go nuts. Especially if you've got another car behind you. If you go nuts, you can potentially cause a crash. So yeah, definitely don't try and do that. Let's put the gearbox back on if we can. Oh, no, new flywheel. Again, I'm just going to keep it stock. Gearbox for this sort of thing. Like that. Like that. Like that. I might not have needed that. Didn't get a flywheel. I think not. Didn't check to see if I'd restored them. I did restore them. In fact, I've got two sets. Oh well. I forgot about that. I'll sell them on. No, the gearbox didn't make it. So we need a new gearbox. Rear-wheel drive, that's the one. And if you guys have commented the guys from the States have commented about the fact of the MOTs between this episode and, well, last episode. Again, guys, sorry if I've not mentioned you in any way, because I'm chaining these. I can't mention what you've said. But big thank you for putting the comments down, if you have. We need to get a new one of them, don't we? Leaf spring rear wheel axle. So that's under running gear, I think. Why can't I see it? There we go. That's the one we need. That one. We're going to need a new fuel tank as well. And the springs made the repair process. This is where I find out whether it's small bushings. Oh, it is smaller bushings. So I've got two sets of rubber bushings. I don't need 4 sets of rubber bushings. I did wonder. I should have checked. I know. 1, 2, 3. I could never remember if they're big or small. So let's say small speed, eh, Kev? Yeah. You're not far off the bat there. Right, let's put these back in. Looks like they survived. So it's kind of a generic layout. You'll find that in real life as well. A lot of cars have the same sort of running gear or chassis setup. You know, when it comes to front wheel and rear wheel drive setups. Drums didn't make it. So let's get a new set of drums while I'm in it. And like I said, a lot of people would, at that stage, for braking performance reasons, they'd change out the... Need 2 sets of them. Was it type B? Can't remember. Let's double check. Type B, yeah. 1, 2. Would change out from drums to discs in that situation. If they could get to do that, then a lot of them would. Purists would go, well, that's no longer original stock car. And in that aspect, if you were doing it to sell on, you may actually inadvertently sort of like shoot a hole in your own pocket, because it's going to deter purists from buying the car. People that want to drive them would pay the extra. The fact that they know it's now got better brake performance and better ignition and it's not going to break down on them half as much. You know, that's why some people convert the older cars from electric ignition to, well, from old standard ignition for contact breaker ignition to electrical ignition, just because, one, it's better economy, two, it's better engine performance. So we need a hub, don't we? It's going to be a rear hub. Is it rear hub? No, it's a solid drive axle. Gotta check that. Where are you? There. I'm gonna need a new brake cylinder as well. But it's ultimately, if you ever thought about restoring cars, it's ultimately up to you. I'm never going to say, you know, you should do it to its original spec. I can understand why people improve them, and I can understand why purists would say, well, you've wrecked the car. It's a difficult balance. And you know, I've seen a lot of kids sort of get old Golfs and stuff, old Mark 1 Golf GTIs or whatever, and then they've potentially ruined them. They removed the badges, they changed the body to how they want it to look. Brake shoe, isn't it? That's what I'm after. Brakes. They changed the braking layout, they changed the suspension layout, they, you know, ultimately, and sometimes they wreck it in a sense. They lower it and it's no longer practical to use every day because they can't drive over speed bumps anymore, or if you go anywhere near a curb, or it's like it becomes a bone breaker in a sense driving it on the road, because you hit a pothole and it just doesn't absorb the shock anymore. It just rattles straight through the bodywork and you end up shattering your spine in a sense. That's what I needed, yeah. One of these. And it becomes a nightmare to drive. Kids would love it, but it's like, yeah, my car's so tripped out, da 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 da. But older people would like, no, I want my comfort, I don't want to be. But I've seen some, like I say, they've been ruined. And and I just look at it and I feel sad because the car no longer looks like it used to, and it actually looks dreadful. Some people say, oh, that looks wicked, that looks nice. Yeah, if you're into that, that's fine. You know, don't let me stop people from doing it, but then you potentially harm the resale value of the car by doing that. It's like kind of a knife hitting against the wrong bit. It's a double-edged sword, so to speak, I should say. You know, some people like it, some people won't. It's personal preference at the end of the day. You know, I can see a lot of cars, a lot of people buy cars just to customise them and then sell them on the customised market, and just the customised market on its own, which is fine. Again, and then you get the purists that restore them to as they were, original spec, and then people just buy them just to stick them in a garage, and that's where they live for the rest of their time. And then every now and again they get taken out for the odd spin. Again, that's a bit of a sad thing to do. Cars are meant to be driven rather than just sat looking pretty. But I can understand why people buy them. They're a potential investment. In that state, they're just going to get potentially more and more, as long as they run. But then for those people that like to drive them like I would, sort of like not an everyday aspect, but more or less every day, would be deterred from buying it. So these are the two of the carburetors made it. Now this is where I'm thinking, shall I put some performance ones or not? I didn't put performance pistons in, I know that. That's because I wanted to keep it as original as I wanted. I just want to try and sort of like get a little bit of a balance between the two, tweak it up a little bit, but not go overboard. Need a new oil filter, aren't we? I was on engine, numpty. It's the i6, that's smart. Cool, that's back in. Did the exhaust make... oh no, you have to buy a new set of exhaust from that. Might as well start getting the standard exhaust in then. I'm not going to go racing exhaust, I'm just going to go performance exhaust, I should say. I'm just going to go standard. So that one there, its own exhaust system. Looks exactly the same as the front exhaust i6, but it's its own unique type. I'm going to go up to the... that's a standard middle muffler, or middle silencer, or middle box, as some mechanics would call it. And then it's got its own unique rear silencer as well, so it's this one here. So that's exhaust more or less back in. I can put these bits, oh they didn't make it any white, so I'm going to have to get some new ones of them. That'll probably be on the engine. Won't be them. I think it was these, won't it? Two of them, I'm sure. Two of them. Yep. Cool. Star made it. That didn't make it, so we're going to buy a new brake servo for it. Some guys also might be wondering about how. Now, some people call it a brake master cylinder and brake slave cylinders. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong, because it's not the wrong interpretation, but some people see it as being wrong, because they call the master cylinder as the main cylinder, and then the slaves as the brake drums. Because basically this, when you push against the brake, there's like a little ram that pushes this fluid through the lines, and then the other cylinders then respond by pushing the rams out onto the drums or the pads. So you know, they call that the master, because that masterly controls the other ones. But some people's standpoint is they're independent and it's just all one hydraulical system. Again, it's individual preference. As long as you know what they do, that's the main thing. It's difficult when you go into a parts shop and you ask them and they go, well, we don't have that, and then you say, oh, I want this, and give them part number, and they go, oh yeah, we've got that, but it's not called that. And it's like, okay. It's like walking into a shop, a tool shop, and if you go, can I have a ruler? The guy behind us in the stores is going to go, yeah, we don't have any kings or queens here. And you know what you mean by saying ruler, but they're going to be funny with you and go, well, I had that a lot when I was doing engineering. It's like, yeah, no kings or queens in this storeroom, I'm afraid. You have to go to Buckingham Palace. And I've done it once when I worked in there, just to wind someone up. What do we need a water pump pulling? It's right, that's what I'm looking for. That's unusual. Never seen that before. Right, okay. That's back on. And we need to put the cams in. I'm definitely going to go. Let's have a look, see what cams they are. The i6 ones. Now, do I want to go nuts and go to performance shop and buy some i6 cams or not? So there's new carbs. Yeah, might as well. I'll put a couple of them in. And I'll buy 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Just mix it up a bit. So we need 2 new sets of cam gear as well. Standard shop. It was i6 cam gear, wasn't it? 2 of them. 1, 2. 2 of them. And we're going to need a cam chain as well. It's its own unique one again, I see. So it's going to be, should be right down to the bottom anyway. Now, why would you... Some people, guys, might be wondering why. What's the difference between a chain and a belt? And is there any benefit to having a chain or a belt? Yes and no. Let's try and find this timing chain. Wherever it might be. There. Put that on. It's still going to need a small cam gear as well. That should be sort of where we are on the timing. There we go, that should be it there. Come on, let me access it, that's it. Didn't make it. With respect to timing belts and chains, now timing belts, because they're rubber, don't last as long as timing chains, but timing chains are a lot more complicated bits of kit. You have to get them quite spot on, and they last a hell of a lot longer, admittedly, than a timing belt would. You don't have to change them as often, but it's a lot more work involved in doing that, in changing over a belt. A lot of the old, some of the Peugeots, I think Peugeots still use timing chains over belts, and but belts tend to don't last as long, but make life easier to replace. It's not, mega easy to replace a timing belt, but it's a lot easier than having to replace a timing chain. So we need an i6 type B and type A. It's towards the bottom here, isn't it? Type A and type B. That made the repair process cool. Put that one on as well. So we might as well put these in, and as the wheel purists go, "You're wrecking the car." Again, it's individual preference. It's up to you whether you want to do it or not. And again, this is just a game, so. So I suspect there are probably going to be air filters in a performance shop for that. I'm hoping there are anyway. Should be, by rights. If they're not, then it seems a bit redundant putting a set of filters in. There they are. 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to need 8 of those, aren't we? 1, 2, 3. 8. I can see it's all crept up towards half an hour mark. Sorry guys, it's ran on a bit further than it should have done. Now, that's knackered, so do I get... I might as well get a performance ignition as well for it, because if I've got performance spark plugs, I might as well get performance ignition as well. Now, is it... I think it's just a standard one. I'm hoping it's just a standard one. Oh, gonna need a new distributor cap. Don't know if it has the performance version of that. I'm gonna have to have a look. Yes, it does. And that one. Right, let's put the top back on, I guess. Let's get these. Bits back on. I'm going to need a whole load of them, aren't we? So how many got? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So that'd be standard engine bit. Engine, and be up towards the crank. That one. 1, 2. Where's it go? Try and get away from me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, thing is, now I've put those old restored ones back in, those ignition, I want to have a quick look and see if there's a performance version of them. Seeing as we've now just done this part of the ignition in performance, I might as well check out, see if there's a performance version of that. That should bring the cap back on. There we go. Freshly reconditioned Maserati cylinder head or rocker or valve cover. And let's put the spark plugs back in. No, not performance ones. A lot of spark plugs. And that's the reason why I was saying, like in the previous episode, is more likely to go wrong. If you start getting problems with the ignition, you're going to need at least number 4 of them, aren't we? So I need to go back to the performance shop and buy 4 more of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. And does it have a coil pack? See a fuel filter, so I buy that while we're at it. Might as well, because the carb's going to need it. Are there a coil pack version of the, or they just a standard? I don't see one. So the coils are obviously non-upgradable. Now, it's not that ignition coil, it's another kind of coil. I don't actually see it in here. So they don't have it. So that eliminates that problem then, doesn't it? We don't need to replace the coil packs. Last but not least, then we can put the performance ignition system on, and we can do the same on this side. Start putting this all back in. Say again, sorry guys, it's gone on a bit longer than I planned for it to go on for. This engine being a bit more complicated than the standard one, takes a bit more time to put it back together again. Give it a bit more zest, a bit more horsepower anyway than standard stock, but still keeps it more or less as was built by the, just a bit like I was saying in the previous episode, they kind of make it so it runs for today's daily usage, but don't overdo it. So you can use it every day, you can jump in it and it will start, rather than having the problems as the older cars would have, just the standard stock stuff. Right, so that's back in, that's back in. Let's bring them. I'm still not sure about the wheels. I don't know whether to put the old ones back on. That's got the pan back on, so we can put the oil back in. Where's the oil filler cap? It's on one of these there. Oh. I'd use a funnel on that myself, I wouldn't pour that straight in like that. Especially as that neck, the way that is, you don't get an idea of how it's pouring into the engine. If it is right above on the can, you can see where it's pouring it down. You can see it trickling down into the journals and everything like that. Right, so that's that sorted. I wonder what body panels made it. That made it. I'm not gonna mess about with its cosmetic looks, to be honest. I think I'm gonna keep that as pure as Maserati intended. None of that made it, so I'm definitely going to repaint it because I don't like that colour. Right. I'm going to start putting... I did put the oil filter back in. Let's see what these wheels look like. Let's bung one on. They're not bad. Let's have a look. Oh, in the wrong shop. In the wheel shop. I want to go to... I'd like to get it so it's got like the retro spoke look to it. So I want to buy one of them. Buy one of them as well, just to, as I can. I'll stick one on here first. Oh, it won't let me. Oh, that's a pain. And maybe it's because I've got that other wheel on there. Take that wheel back off. No. Okay. Well, that eliminates that problem, doesn't it? It won't let me put anything else other than the stock wheels back on it, so we'll do that then. This is wasted a lot on those wheels. It's a shame. Right, okay. So that eliminates that problem. We'll just stick these ones back on. Put that one back in. Right, okay, and we need to buy some more panel bits, don't we? So, we go to Parts Body Shop. Just put MAS, M-A-S, and see if that comes up with anything. There we go. Alright. So, it's the right door that's missing. Left and right tail light. I think both the lights are knackered as well. Front lights are knackered. And the front and rear bumper also knackered. So let's put it back together. It looks a bit like a taxi on the front. Back on. American taxis, you know what I mean? Ones you see in New York. Right, cool. So that's that back to go. Oh, I'm sure the left door made it. So that's all the parts back on. I think that's everything bar battery and some other bits and bits, yeah. But look how much the profit's gone up straight off the roof. I haven't finished it yet. I've got to put these clips back in. Did I put? I'm sure I put. Oh, yeah, that's back in. So it's just clipped off of the ignition, which I forgot. Schoolboy error, I know. Won't let me. Come on. Put the clips back on. That's what I want to do. One of them didn't make it, so we need another clip B, type B. Car parts shop, clip type B. Cool. And we need a new battery as well, don't we? Should be up the top. Car battery, yep. Thank you. Cool, so that should complete this. Yeah. Parts condition. Oh, I forgot the sway bar, aren't I? That's why it annoys me when you can put the wheels on. We haven't really finished putting the suspension back together again. So need this sway bar front, running gear, type B, wasn't it? Yep. And what's the end links? Type beams. Type B's, two of them. 1, 2. Cool. Put that back in. Put that back on. That should complete it, right? Yeah. Look at that. Parts condition 100%. Look at that. 82,000, that more or less. For this. I'll bring it down. And take it to the paint shop. Respread colour. This is where it gets confusing because I was never good at playing about the hues or anything like that. Let's see what that looks like. See, that doesn't look too bad. It's going to cost me a fortune doing this. A bit darker, maybe. See what it looks like up in the shop. Again, that doesn't look too bad. I quite like that colour. Yeah, I quite like that colour. Does suit the car a bit more. I'm gonna leave it that colour. Cool. Right, so that's that done. Let's take it to the dyno test shop. Let's tune it up. Carburetor tuning. Increase that. So that gives it 10. That I can live with that. You know. Let's see what else we can do with it. That's the best it's gonna get. Set carburetor, tuning speed, test run. Back to garage. And what I'll do is I'll take this out on the drag strip and see what you can get at top speed wise. So I see it at the drag strip. Again, sorry guys, it's gone on a little bit longer than it should have done, but I'll see you on the other side. Okay guys, welcome to the drag strip. Let's see what this thing can do. I don't expect it to be earth-shattering, especially as I didn't change the wheels out. Goodness. I'm glad it didn't smash my car. Right, return to the garage. I'll see you back at the garage. Okay guys, welcome back to the shop. So it's all more or less finished. Let's have a look, see what its top speed was. Okay, as I say, the quarter mile is not earth shattering, but it's not bad, and I'm going to be keeping it anyway. But that is it's like 82 grand. To sell that on if I really wanted to. A big final look around it. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, don't forget to like, and if you know anyone else that may also enjoy the episode, again guys, don't forget to share. It helps me out a lot. And if you're new to my channel and you want to see future episodes of this, as few as they're going to be now, because we're running towards the end of the series, and if you want to see future episodes of this and anything else that I'm working on, please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. TTFN.